In the journey of motherhood, there is an art often overlooked yet profoundly beautiful, the art of listening. From the first cries of a newborn to the playful chatter of toddlers, these seemingly ordinary sounds are the soundtrack to the incredible adventure of raising a child. Listening isn't just about hearing words.
What'd you do today, bud?
It's in the giggles that light up the
You
room.
played with Grammy? Did you play Get This Off My Table?
The whispered secrets shared at bedtime.
Listen, what's Daddy doing to your bed? He's fixing it? Is he turning it into a
And even in the tantrums that test your patience.
Great job!
When you truly listen, you hear their joys,
Let's see your dribble, Easton.
W-X.
fears,
Squish you. What's that song?
I got fun. Bob cake.
Bob cake.
and dreams.
Doctor said.
No more monkey jumping.
You witness their imagination taking flight.
Alright, what do you want to say to mommy?
Their curiosity unraveling mysteries. And their confidence growing daily. In those quiet moments,
Can you say Grams? Can you say Gampy? Papa T?
and loud ones,
I love you. Get Daddy.
as you listen to their steady breathing while they sleep, you realize these fleeting sounds are precious.
Mommy.
Cherishing each laugh, each question,
Now I see the phone.
each story.
Dad got the wires on the outside.
For in the moments, you're not just hearing your children, you're witnessing their growth unfold right before your eyes. In this world where mothers give all, heed this heartfelt, caring call. A manifesto, bold and clear, while expected to give our all, our hearts, our time, our mental hold. Here's a truth we must embrace, the importance of self-care. Breathe deeply. Slow and pure. Be with friends, laugh and share. Dance with freedom, feel the beat. Walk in nature, hear the breeze. Amongst the trees, find your peace. A mother's love is fierce and bright, but self-care gives it greater light. No guilt should cloud this sacred time. Sip your coffee, read a book, take a moment, take a breath to escape the stress. For when you're nourished, rested, and calm. Your love for others will be strong. In giving self the love you need, your strength and joy will shine anew. So here's to mothers who care for self, a manifesto, wise and true. Embrace your needs, let guilt release. In self-care's glow, find your peace. For when you're cared for, well and whole, your love flows deep, because in loving self, you love them too. As mothers, we deal daily with the pressure of doing everything perfectly and being everything for our children. Good mother ideology refers to beliefs that women are only good mothers if they adhere to the tenets of dominant parenting discourse, such as intensive mothering ideology, which prioritizes children's needs and child raising above all else, including devoting their entire physical and mental self to their children at the expense of everything else. Theories such as the good mother ideology and modern feminism clash when women try to have a career and a purpose outside of the home, but then are expected to maintain the same level of perfection in being a mother. The idea that women should be naturally equipped and always ready and available to care for their children, no matter what the circumstances, creates an unrealistic and unattainable pressure for modern women who are often working, studying, and/or holding a myriad of other roles in their community and families alongside being a mother. Through my art, I aim to investigate the importance of caring for oneself and listening to our own needs before others, and normalizing how in doing this, we're better preparing ourselves to care and listen to others. You could think of it like when you're on an airplane, and the flight attendant tells you to put on your air supply before helping others. If you do not give your body what it needs, how will you be able to give others what they need? The art world, like many other industries, has historically marginalized women, particularly mothers. The demands of artistic practice and the traditional perception of the ideal artist as a solitary figure have often clashed with the realities of motherhood, resulting in inequitable opportunities, limited representation, and a lack of support for working mothers. Women's perceptions of motherhood are shaped by their explicit and implicit ideologies, that of the intensive mother, the supermom ideal, and the good mother, bad mother dichotomy. Women perceive they are criticized for every aspect of their motherhood by outsiders, which leads to internalized guilt and changed parenting behaviors, and reinforces the idea that if a woman is not a good mother, she is a bad mother. Kirshenbaum and Rice, from 1997's A Comparative Study of 10 Female Artists, for example, made these tensions between the desire and motivation for creative work and the demand of motherhood very clear. Social expectation dictates that mothering should be prioritized, and many artist mothers report feelings of guilt when they put their needs for creativity above their children's needs. When considering the inequities of our society's expectation of mothers, I think of the British sculptor Barbara Hepworth. After the birth of her triplets, her partner left for Paris to continue his work, leaving her alone with the children. When she could finally send them to daycare so she could continue her work, she was criticized for abandoning her children to make art. Mother and Child, from 1934, is one of her best-known and celebrated sculptures, in which two human forms are carved from the same block as if intimately bonded together, yet their bodies are separate, each with their own individual agency. Hepworth's friend, the art critic Adrian Stokes, wrote, "This is the child with the mother, owns with all her weight, a child that is of the block yet separate, beyond her womb, yet of her being." The idea that good mothers are sheep, thoughtless adherents to the mainstream rhetoric artists so valiantly attempt to tear down, is an insult to the many mothers who have taught their children to fight racism and sexism and injustice, who have enabled their children to break boundaries and taboos, who have fought these boundaries and taboos just by starting families. This inequity in our society has inspired me to create a series of pieces that challenge traditional gender roles and investigate the mental and physical burdens associated with them. This mind map outlines my initial attempts to unravel all the roles that I have. One of the main projects that has come from this is the series A Woman's Role, which will focus on juxtaposing traditional female expectations and roles with modern feminist tenets that support the importance of women being whole beings with their own needs, passions, and significance. In many ways, I think this writing made me a better mother. It made me pay attention to mothering, which I began to see as an incredibly complex, difficult, beautiful, personal, universal realm so underserved by literature. Another area my work seeks to repair is returning the joy in my role as a mother, focusing on the celebrations, milestones, and love I have for that part of myself, pushing out the guilt to focus on the joyous journey we're on. One way I've done this is through my portraits of my sons. While working on the portraits, I ensure that I am remembering the moments that photo was from, the memories and happiness that I can receive from that time. For the last year, I've been working on filming almost all of my artwork I create in order to have time lapses of them. I find that these help me document how much time goes into the projects, so when I'm commissioned for work, I have an accurate time frame, and as a way to relive the experience in a much shorter time frame. For example, this film actually encompasses 10 hours of drawing, shrunk down to 1 minute. My journey into motherhood started quite golden. Fortunately, we got pregnant quickly and had a very smooth pregnancy with only a minor hiccup at the end, leading to our first son being born 3 weeks early. He was a lovely baby, sleeping through the night, very curious and loving. We decided to have a second child, but from then on, the journey became a mountain climb through hazards. I struggled with hip pain that would leave me unable to walk at the end of the day and required physical therapy appointments, taping up my back and hip to ease the pain. His delivery was a lot longer and my body struggled with the inducement. After he was born, part of the placenta was left behind, which led to me developing sepsis and returning to the hospital for 4 days, where I was fighting for my life, missing my oldest's birthday, and being forced to pump and dump my milk to maintain my supply, but not able to feed him because of the various drugs in my system keeping me alive. Once I was cleared to return home, the relief was quickly overshadowed by a much more difficult newborn experience. Beckett did not sleep through the night for almost a year. He refused to nap independently, forcing me to do snuggle naps, where I would be trapped in his nursery for 3 or more hours at a time, multiple times a day. As he grew into his toddler phase, he was much more strong-willed and defiant than my older son, leading to many battles and discipline challenges that furthered my guilt. I also avoided dealing with the trauma of my near-death experience and developed anxiety, not being able to sleep through the night with my brain going on overdrive of everything I've done wrong, still needed to do, or should be concerned about. After undergoing EMDR therapy to process the trauma and ease my anxiety, I saw significant improvements in my mental health. I gained clarity on how important it is to listen to your needs and care for yourself, sometimes even more so than for others. My artwork reflects this new perspective, focusing on recognizing mothers' essential roles and importance as individuals and sharing their experiences to understand they're not alone and doing a job that should be free of guilt and filled only with pride. As far as sustainability in my practice goes, my primary materials are oil paints on cabinet doors. I began using cabinet doors 2 years ago and enjoy the smooth, hard surface to paint on. It also has the added benefits of having a built-in frame around the piece, and the cabinet doors align with the themes of motherhood and domestic life, transporting the viewer into a home with their use. In terms of sustainability, they also have an ecological effect, since I receive the cabinets from people remodeling their kitchens or cabinet stores who were going to throw them into landfills. The largest benefit I have received from this entire program is the sustainability of my ideation for work. When I began this program, I really struggled on deciding what to create and having a purpose for that work. Through the first 4 courses, I have really narrowed into my interests and purpose as an artist. I will continue the mother interview painting sessions I began in my collaborative practice unit, as well as creating more work that speaks to an authentic experience of mothers.